People look for confidence instead of looking for competence. Another thing they do is they look for material opulence instead of looking for expanded consciousness. And see, they have their eyes on the end game, the ultimate prize. But a lot of times they are never thinking of the prerequisite before the prize actually comes. Let's think of it as if you're baking a cake, right? You're thinking about the cake, that's finished product. And because we live in this press a button on your phone, instant gratification, anything in the world can show up at your door by the press of a button on your phone. Literally anything, any kind of food you want, almost anything will just show up. You don't have to go get it. You don't have to make it. You don't have to do anything. It's all there for you, conveniently fed to you. And because we have this in our society, a lot of times we forget how to alchemically create things on our own. The horseflies out here are getting busy, man. But if you learn how to make things on your own, right, it's like this. When you have all the ingredients, you put in the work, you put in the steps, you have all the ingredients to make the product, the end game, a reality. But a lot of people focus so much on the end game, they ignore every tiny little ingredient that it takes to get the end game. And it's different for everything. Like there's so many different kinds of cakes you can make. So when you get aware, right, you find your consciousness and you get aware of what it really takes to make the specific cake that you want. Everybody has their own idea of what they really want. You can put the pieces to the puzzle together because you're receiving the information. Your mind is open. Sometimes you got to realize the type of distractions that are holding you back from gaining all the pieces to the puzzle or the ingredients to the recipe. Now, if you take people like Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, or a lot of these people, even some of the new age ones, what you'll notice is they do the same thing, not to use these guys over and over again, because everybody does, but a lot of times what they're doing is they're taking the time to take a nap, and they get ideas when they take little cat naps during the day. And sometimes we're so distracted, we need constant stimulation all day long that we never allow ourselves to even drift off into this realm before you go to sleep. There's a certain realm that you get to where you are about to doze off and you start to get all kinds of ideas, or you start to have all these visions and emotions. There's so many things that try to speak to you in your sleep, that portion of sleep where right before you're about to fall under or right before you're about to wake up. There is always this moment where your consciousness is at the right relaxed state of mind to find the answer. And a lot of times, instead of doing that, what we're doing is we pull out the phone and distract ourselves, or we distract ourselves with food. That's another thing that I just recently, I get to the point where I'm swatting flies all the time because I'm out in the wilderness and out in nature, and there's horseflies just beating me up here. But the thing is like when you're bored or when you're kind of stressed, one of the things that you do is you start to eat. And the more sugary the food is, the more addictive it is, the more it's calling you. So if you have things that are calling you constantly, you don't have the space to let these answers flow into your life, so to speak. And it's like, these vices that we have, whether it be drinking, nicotine, etc., you know what I'm talking about. They just come into your life. They're like a thought that's reminding you constantly, okay, it's time for this, it's time for this. And it's like these horseflies, these pestering horseflies that keep hitting you in the face and stinging you on the back of the head. And until you do something, then there's your relief. And you see, this is one of the hidden hindrances that we often have to deal with in life. And if we don't deal with it right away, we end up suffering for the long haul. And I'll tell you, because these past 2 days, I stopped eating certain foods that I've been eating every single day. I've been eating cookies, crackers, a lot of sugar. These products that are organic, they're minimally processed. But when I look at the label, because yesterday I was looking at the label of some of the things that I was eating every day, and I was realizing, dude, I'm eating, that's like almost 40 grams of sugar with the kefir yogurt and that certain granola that I was eating. That's 40 grams of sugar that I was eating. No wonder why I was feeling like I was dragging during the day while I was working. And I was eating this almost every single day because it was like a crutch for me. It was soothing to me to eat this while I'm driving around. Another thing is ice cream, keto ice cream, protein ice cream. They have it at Target. It's delicious. It's amazing. I love it. But the problem is when I'm driving around eating this stuff, I do feel a difference. Like after I eat it, I feel kind of sedated. That's what dairy does to you. And now that I've been eating more broccoli, meats, quinoa, not too much, but I've been keeping my carbs at a low, I feel like I have a lot more energy. And I feel like I actually dropped a little bit of weight. These past 2 days, I lost a lot of the sugar weight. I don't know if sugar makes you put on more weight, but I feel like it does. Because I was sloppy. My knee, that's another thing. I was talking about my knee in another video. My knee was bothering me. My knee doesn't bother me as much anymore today. And today is the first day where it was like, wow, it feels a lot better when I'm walking around. So I'm out here in nature, in this nice spot that I like to go to, recording a video. So what I had to do was identify what are the things holding me back, first of all. There's got to be something I could do. Some habit that I got into for the past year and a half or 2 years was just eating so much while I'm driving in the car. It's one of those coping mechanisms that we overlook and we start to just let it go out of control. I was talking about the brain fog in the other video as well. That's something that I noticed clearing up these past couple of days too, man. Eating so much sugar, you're more tended to eat later at night because you have all these blood sugar crashes and spikes, and then you get hungry at night and you end up eating before bed, and that's not good, man. That's not good. So in a way, just a small habit like that, just getting on top of that, just reducing my calories a little bit, my sugar and carbs a little bit, because I'm somebody who does really well on higher protein, higher fat. And I don't even need carbs. To be honest with you, I don't need it at all. I feel like my brain functions way better without excess carbohydrates. Like I said, I had quinoa, but that's it. And earlier today, I was like, man, I want the yogurt with the granola and the chocolate pieces that I always have. And I was like, you know what? No, it's in the cupboard. One day I'll have a little bit of it, but I feel good without it. So why am I going to ruin that right now? I feel great. And because I changed just like I was saying, this one thing that I changed, I feel more calm mentally. I feel like my perception is better. My thoughts are clearer. And everything just is so much better this way. I know that my diet is important. And so for me to go off of the diet for so long, it just goes against my values. So I gotta stick to it. Me personally, I have to stick to it. It's got to be a non-negotiable. So I would just say this: what is it for you? There's got to be something in your life that you're not noticing right now that you could make a change on. That if you do that, you will see a lot of benefits very quickly, actually. And, a lot of times human beings have this tendency to run into the same brick wall over and over again and not really take the time to sit back and open up their mind to the point where they can see what is causing the problem. And this could be anything. It could be substances you're using. It could be a food addiction. It could be an internet addiction. It could be a relationship that is not serving you. It could be so many different things in so many different shapes and forms. So what I would say is identify what it is and make a change and stick to it. With the food addiction, the addiction to the foods that I was eating, it started making me fat, man. I don't usually have a gut like that. But, you know, I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, damn, I got a gut and everything. And it's like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Think about some of the things that you want to do in this life, because it goes by very fast. So you really got to think about what it is that you want to do. And then ask yourself, what can you do right now? And what can you stop doing right now to make that happen? So before I get consumed by all these dragonflies and horseflies, just think about that and make a decision today.